So yesterday, Voyboy made a throwback Thursday tweet showing how in season 1 he was rank 1, and it had a little picture of the ladder. And what caught my eye wasn't that I was in this ladder picture as rank 9, it was the games that I had played. Now, the average games that anybody played in that picture was maybe 1,100, maybe 1,200. The second most games played was St. Vicious with 1,824. And then I had 2,791 games played. That is almost over 1,000 games over the next closest person. And then Thorin commented that, hey, that'd be a good topic for a video if you just pointed out how you got here as a pro. So I figured, yeah, it is. So here I am making it. So let's start the story a little bit back. And when I was young, I used to sail. I sailed for 8 years, and I'm not very naturally talented at anything, really. If anything, it would be at things like creativity, pattern recognition, coming up with random shit. And most of my close friends, I mean, they're aware of all the stories, ideas, and creative things I say, and they're like, how did you come up with this? That kind of thing. And my family as well. Everybody's like, this is kind of an odd thing to be noticing, but that would be the talent that I consider myself to have. Natural talent. Everything else just average at. And so even at sailing, I had to practice an incredible amount, more than anybody else, to actually improve. And the days that I did do that were the ones that received incredible improvement, where I even got to win the national championship. But that's a story for another time, a very good one at that. And I think I've only shared that maybe on stream, but I should make a video about it soon. Regardless, after I was done sailing in Canada, I was unbelievably competitive, and I still needed to compete. I had that drive. So what I did was I looked for something in some sports in school. I just, didn't really enjoy them as much as I did before. So when I figured out that I could compete in the comfort of my home through the computer, playing games, I was in right away, of course. And so while I was going to school and university, I was just playing all the time, nonstop. That's one season. And just so you know, I didn't even start the season when the season started. I started the season a couple of months in, so I had even less time than some of the players there, which just shows how, I guess, addicted I got to the game. But I didn't see it as an addiction. I just wanted to compete. I just wanted to see myself climb through that ladder. And one of the big things that struck me was that the ladder was incredibly similar to how results are posted in sailing. So in sailing, you have, after a day of regattas, you go back to the club, and not a literal club, the sailing club, and you wait for the tournament organizers to print out the page with all the results, and then bam, they just paste it on the board, and then everybody gathers around and sees, oh, you're this, you did that, oh, that's so good, I'm doing this rank, I'm rank 1, whatever. And it looked just like the one in League, because in League, it wasn't in the client. You have to go to the website, you have to find it, find the ranking, and then wait for it to get updated all the time. Like, oh man, refresh it. I know I won that last game. Show me my next climb. Like, yes, I got 30 elo for that. So it reminded me a lot of that. So I really just wanted to climb. That's all I wanted to do, just climb that ladder nonstop, over and over. But it was difficult because I didn't have a lot of skills at playing the game before. I mean, initially when I played Dota, I actually was so competitive at Dota that I played against bots. I didn't even have internet, so I just wanted to get good at it and just beat bots. I wanted to be easy bots, medium bots, hard bots, whatever bots. I just played over and over and over, and I just wanted to keep improving. And similarly in League, that's what I did. And you might say, but Alberto, if your practice was better, if you had higher quality practice, you would have been able to save yourself some time and improve on the games. Maybe so, but what if the bar that I started at was lower? And I'm not saying that the bar that I started at was necessarily lower, but the approach that I took to the game was an approach that I have spoken about in previous videos. Things like muting everybody. I would mute everybody, my teammates and the ally and the enemy, and just play the game. I just played the game. I just wanted to improve. And the big thing that I really wanted to do is make sure that I could get all the information out by myself. I wanted to figure out the game through my own eyes. I didn't want anybody to tell me, oh, maybe you should think about this skill order. Maybe you should try to do this. Maybe this objective is more important. I didn't care about guides. I did not look at them. I just wanted to be involved in the game and figure it all out by doing it. And that's why I played so much. And I played every role. I played every pick. I was able to play every single champion because that's how I wanted to figure out. I didn't want to read, oh, how does Singe work? It's like, no, I'm going to play it. How does Karthus work? That was my first champion I ever bought. It's like, I want to play it. I want to buy it. And the thing is, I learned everything through trial and error. And if you do not believe me, what happened when I first bought Karthus, I thought, oh, I guess there's not 100%. I was like, you know what? I want 100% CDR. This game is so broken. I bought all of the runes for CDR. That's all I would do. I just buy CDR runes. And it's like, oh, shit, there's a cap at 40. Whoopsies. There goes all the IP I spent on CDR runes, on like tier 1 CDR runes. Shit. Okay. Now we know. And then move on. And that's how I would do things. Just like that. And I think that gives a much better sense of self-accomplishment than just looking at guides over and over and over. And I think that doing that right now is incredibly difficult and time-consuming, doable. But if you look at it back then, where the hell did I find the time for all this? Regardless, after doing that, I spent some time at a clan. So I joined a clan. Somebody asked me, hey, why don't you join our little clan? I think we think you're good enough and come on down. The issue was that I had everybody muted, so I wasn't very good at team communication. Remember that sailing is an individual sport, so I didn't really understand how to work as a team at all. I was more of a lone wolf kind of guy. And after that, they put me in the B team on their main team. They're like, you know what? You don't have the skills to become on the main team. We'll put you on the B team. But I was carrying way too hard. I was getting solo kills as a Kali pre-6, and if that's ever happening, your opponents are just terrible. So after that, they're like, look, I would just put me on the main team. They put me on the main team, and I was carrying those as well. Then I moved on to another team with a couple of friends that I had made. And after that, I got a message from Ryder Renoa. She said, hey, Team Epic Gamer is going to IPL 3. And it's in Atlantic City. I didn't know esports, by the way. See, the only sports that I knew was anything being broadcast on OWN TV. I wasn't even going on Twitch. I was going on OWN TV. I bet most of you guys don't even remember that. And she said, yeah, so Atlantic City is in a casino. We need everybody to be there, at least 18. You are the highest ranked player that can go, that is 18. Would you be interested in participating and taking the spot over in Epic Gamer? So I was like, yeah, sure. What's in it? It's like, oh, we'll fly you to, you get a free trip to Atlantic City for the weekend, and that's it. And maybe you win some money. I was like, hell yeah, I'm down. So immediately flew down there. We got second place. Came back with $1,000 check. I was like, I want to do this some more. I want to do this more. And immediately I started getting offers from other teams. And that's when I joined esports, and that's how I basically got into the scene. And every improvement that I made was simply through that same stubborn, hard-headed, I need to grind this by myself, and advice I would receive from my teammates, from my coaches, to actually guide me in the right direction, almost like a Roomba vacuum cleaner. You just got to push it in the right direction until it figures it out and then just keeps going. That's how I would be. And that carried on throughout a lot of my time. Obviously, eventually you start looking at VOD, start looking at other people and using that to your advantage. But the gist of it was just a sheer practice and making sure that every game there was a goal. If I had a goal one game, I wanted to improve something, be like, I want to be a better use of my flash. Every single game, all I would do, first items, CDR boots, whatever thing to lower my flash cooldown. I don't remember at the time what you could do for that. Maybe it wasn't that back then, but it was, I wanted flash every single time my flash is up, I need to be using it. Or, I want to be using my ultimate more. I need to be better at using my ult. Just full on CDR runes, full on this. Just practice it. I don't care if we win. I don't care if we lose. I just want to know that I improved at this. If the fact that I used 10 Nocturnes ult one game means that I will improve faster but lose, as opposed to using 3 and winning. I'm going to do the 10 every single time. And that's how I would do it. That's the approach that I took. And I think that it went really well. And by that same vein of thought, I'm doing broadcast now, right? Analysis. Look back to all the interviews when I was really young back then. If you look at that, you're like, man, why the hell did anybody not only interview this guy, put him in the desk, talk to him? It made no sense. I mean, I watch it and I can't. It's difficult. It's painful to see somebody be so bad at it in my eyes. And I just kept doing it over and over and over. It's like, I need to be better at this. I need to improve at this. And I haven't even looked at any speech therapy, anybody to public speaking much, really. It's all, okay, I think I should be doing this. Or somebody's like, hey, you know what? We need you to keep your points more concise. All right, keep your points more concise. I'm like, oh, it sounds like you're having difficult pronunciation. Maybe it sounds like you have a little bit of a lisp. And even when I was a kid, there was a point where I was saying my R's improperly. So if you know, in Latin America, you have to roll your R's like, well, I was doing it like through the side of my mouth. And somebody pointed out, I was like, oh, you're doing it terrible. I was like, shit, I need to relearn how to speak. So I just focused on it, and after a while, bam, it was gone. So I did that with just speaking, just practice it over and over, doing interviews, whatever they may be. And I've rarely turned down any interviews, to the point where currently, I mean, I get kids, I get people from websites and random shit I've never even heard of, video, whatever it is. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Come on. Let's do another interview. Let's practice it. Let's improve at it. And just by sheer quantity, I've been able to improve. Obviously, there's people involved with feedback that is very important, but most of it is through my own self-doing, which I think is a very valuable thing with, again, just so much self-reward in the fact that you're able to improve through mostly your own actions and your own thoughts. And I mean, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. You just kind of work at it. If you put in the work, you will actually get better at anything that you do. Even other aspects that you might think, I've literally worked on everything that I'm remotely good at today. So I think anything that involves me as a person, a skill, anything. So that's I guess the end of the message. Don't be lazy. And as an example, I'm currently doing broadcast, right? And broadcast is essentially speaking. So every single time that I speak to somebody, I'm thinking, let's improve. Let's make sure my points are concise, I sound clear, that it sounds good, and that it's up to the standard that I think I should be speaking in. Every single time. So that's what you should be doing if you want to improve. Hope this helps. See you guys.